Okay, we are recording. And then if you guys want to mute yourselves so Vanessa can talk, and then whenever she wants to ask questions, we can unmute and talk. So go ahead, Vanessa. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everybody. Like Kristen said, I am Monica's one of her coaches, and I started about a year ago, and I've just fallen in love with coaching and basically the vital behaviors minus the personal development until recently. So I had a really hard time sitting down and reading anything. I have a little one at home who likes to be with me the whole time, and reading has never been my favorite thing. So we went to Summit, and I felt really fired up coming home, and for whatever reason, finally looked into podcasts and listening, even though Monica had told me probably, last year that she listened to podcasts whenever she drives around. And, it's like your mom's always right. So thank you, Monica. And I recently came across, while reading the Hale Elrod's Miracle Morning for Network Marketers, I decided, well, why am I not listening to his podcast? I like his books so much. So I came across, or I just started listening to his podcast, and I came across this one. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen, see if it'll work. Let's see here. Okay, can you guys see that? Yes, okay. See here. Sorry, I'm not really, there we go. Okay, I'm not really a PowerPoint gal. So I came across this call about smart shifts, and it was with a man named Chris J. Simpson, who's done figure competitions or whatever shows, whatever they call them. And it was taking the SMART goals and changing them to SMART shifts. So I will be sure to put the link to the call so you guys can listen for yourselves if you want, but I'm going to pretty much go over everything. So Hale's podcast is called Achieve Your Goals, and this one's titled Way Better Than SMART Goals. And the SMART for this one stands for small, simple, and stupid goals that need to be measurable, accessible, rewardable, and then you team up. And I'll post this in Live to Give, and we'll go over each letter so you don't have to get that now. So the example that Chris Simpson gave was that you have someone who wants to lose 100 pounds, and that can be a really huge goal. So what can we do to break that down to make it more realistic and something that our challengers can actually do and stick with? So he came up with these SMART shifts. So to begin with, we need to help people set small, simple, and stupid goals. So they're going to be so small that they might feel stupid. That's where the stupid comes in. So the first thing we might say is, well, he or she needs to eat healthier. Well, that's a pretty vague goal when you think about it. That can feel really overwhelming to someone to tell them, oh, just eat healthier. Well, what does that actually mean? So make sure you help them define their goals to be so simple that they're very specific. So the goal we're going to work with now is eating more vegetables. And to make that into a SMART shift goal, we need to make sure that it's measurable. So don't focus on the overall goal. You want to create a small window of time that will help them create urgency in completing it. So, most of our groups are usually 21 to 30 days, I would say. And that can start to feel like a long time when you tell someone to take away their chips and their cookies and all of their crappy food that they eat. So if you can just say, let's try this for 7 days, see how it goes for 7 days. And that's what I'm doing in my group right now. So I have a Smart Shift goal group going, and I've asked everyone to create a new goal each week. So we're not saying a goal for the whole group, just each week. And I want to make sure that they don't lose interest in their goal. So one of my ladies, she actually met with me, and she's a good friend we go way back. And anyway, she met with me and was really real with me and said, I run. She's just finished a half marathon, and she felt like she could kind of eat anything she wanted. And I said, you know what, I'm in sort of the same boat. Like, weight hasn't ever been one of my big issues. So I feel like, oh, if I eat ice cream every night, like, no one will know. Or if I have 2 or 3 chais a day, no one will know. But I know, and I feel crappy that I'm not being true to what I'm telling other people to do. So we decided to team up and be partners. So her Smart Shift goal was to drive by Dutch Brothers every day. And when she did, she was going to put $5 in an envelope for the money that she would have spent. And that was her reward. So her, at the end of, we set it for a week just to see how it went. And so she's going to keep going with it because she liked it. It was doable for her. So now that's her reward money, and she'll get to spend it on something she otherwise wouldn't have spent money on. So, and I teamed up with her, and I said, okay, I'm only going to have 1 chai. And we've checked in with each other. So that's sort of I'm skipping ahead a bit. So we'll get back on track here. So make sure that the goal is doable, measurable. And if you don't set a time limit on it, people can start to feel stuck and lose interest. So make sure that it's that you set those dates and hold them to them. So the A in SMART is for accessible. What will your challenger need? Make sure that they have the tools that they need to reach their goal. So for our example of eating healthier, they need to have fruits and vegetables at home. They need to pack them for work, or if they're, going to the park or whatever with their kids. And if they have the things that they need, the tools that they need, it will eliminate the procrastination of starting tomorrow because I don't have the fruit, or starting tomorrow because I don't have the running shoes, whatever their excuse is because they're not set. So make sure that they're ready. And then Hal and Chris pointed out, remind them, don't buy the stuff that you shouldn't eat. So if you're trying to eat healthier, encourage them to obviously get rid of the junk food that's in the house. And if the goal is visible, they're more likely to do it. So having the fruit out on the counter, or, in the front of the refrigerator where they will see it every time they open it, or packing your gym bag, or having your weight bench out for the next morning, whatever it is that you need to set yourself up for success for that next day, or for the days. So when you reach your goal, what are you going to do to nurture yourself? How will you celebrate? A lot of the times people have trouble coming up with a goal because it's not something that we regularly do. So how will you, and I apologize for the whining dog if you can hear him. What will you do to recognize the hard work that you've done? It doesn't have to be something you buy. It can be taking a hot bath, or going for a walk with a friend, or, for those of us with lovely children, maybe you just have a day to yourself. Something that you don't have to buy yourself new workout clothes, or, new phone, whatever. I don't know, every time you hit a goal. So what Hal does is for his work, and I thought this was a pretty cool idea for those of us doing our power hours is he does power half hours, or half hours of power. And when he was working for Cutco, his goal was to make 10 calls in 30 minutes. So the way he rewarded himself was that if he finished all of his calls, say, in 20 minutes, then his reward would be to get the 10-minute break. So he could walk around or play a game or scroll Facebook, whatever he wanted to do. And he had those 10 minutes as his reward. So, for us, maybe it's after you send out your 3 messages for the day, then and do your follow-ups, then you get up and you, I don't know, walk around, or you get to scroll Facebook, but set a timer so you don't get lost in the friends Facebook feed. Oh, sorry. Okay. So next, teaming up. So we're all familiar with or most of us are familiar with the idea of a success partner and accountability partner. So this doesn't have to be the same Smart Shift goal. It could be that someone's working on weight loss and someone's working on, finishing something for work is their goal. It doesn't have to be the same goal at all. It can be totally different. So what you'll want to do is encourage people to team up. Can everybody mute themselves, please? Thanks. To have someone to check in with. So like I'm checking in with my friend Wendy every day and asking her how she did. Did she get her $5? And she's asking me how I did. So it's not the same goal, but it's, we're working on a goal. So Chris shared a story about his partner, and they had decided to do more videos for their pages. And one night he was laying in bed and realized that his partner hadn't checked in with him, and that he had done his own goal, but he hadn't heard from his partner. And he immediately kind of had a freak out of like, oh my gosh, if my partner doesn't do my goal, am I going to slack tomorrow because I know they haven't done their goal? So it can really be a powerful thing if you're both really committed to it. And just, kind of how we work is if you tell someone you're going to do something, you're more likely to follow through with it, and you'll care about it, and that hopefully that person will care about helping you reach that goal as well. So some ideas I had for us that, if you have something you want to achieve with your business, and I would say consistency is one of the most important things that we can do, is when you focus on just one small shift, the shift or you'll start to focus on other things as well without even knowing it. So my thought was, if we all focused on just sending however many messages your goal is to send each day, how many connections you want to make, not necessarily about Beachbody, just checking in with your friends or reaching out to new friends, just sending those messages, then you automatically get those follow-up messages. They'll reply to you. And I always tell my coaches that when you send those messages, if they're a new friend, always ask them about their job. Ask them what they do and how they spend their time, because usually people then return and ask you what you do, and that's the perfect lead into sharing about Beachbody without having to be like a cold message about it. So, or a cold invite. So then, then that will maybe lead to an invite to a group. So you can kind of see how the compound effect adds up. And if you just focused on your Smart Shift goal of sending messages, then the focus will extend itself to help you. Now, if they had a thing where they talked about shifting back. So Hal said, at the high points of your life, or at the high points of my life, what was I doing? So go back to those times where maybe your business was doing really well, or you were feeling really great about yourself, or you were really enthused about helping others. Like what were you doing to feel that way? What was your focus? What were the small things that you were doing each day that added up to you having success? So go back to the basics and just try small little things. Monica's been doing a 2 and you challenge. So messaging to people. Oh boy, now I don't have my sheet. Messaging to people, adding to friends, and inviting 2 people each day. So, those small little things that barely take any time in your day can really add up. And I did that all of September, and I felt great about it. Like, it was so simple, so basic, and it had been something that I hadn't been doing. So I just, I shifted back and I went back to, pretty much what Beachbody suggests we do every day. Funny how that can work. So one more quote that really stuck with me was that what Chris said was, when you move your body, your mind will follow. And that was sort of how I framed my group. I did last week all about fitness. This week I'm doing nutrition. And then the final week will be about personal development, because I haven't really shared anything about personal development in my groups before. And I felt like it was finally clicking for me. So it was important for me to share that with my challengers. And I think it can be a really powerful tool if, when you're ready to share it. Because they are, if you start working out, you're probably also going to be more mindful of what you eat, because you'll want to be fueling your body with the right stuff. And then another thought I had, they kind of like went through the call with doing the smart shifts, and then they went back and added it to it. So when I sat down and listened to it again, I felt like I was sort of like a little all over the place. So I do apologize if it's feeling that way for you as well. But back to the rewards, and staying consistent. And, Beachbody gives us prizes for hitting Success Club each month. So it could be a personal development webinar, or it could be a shirt, or a weird Siggy bobblehead. Like, they give all sorts of prizes out. And I know, like, Kristen does prizes for our bingo, and Monica's done a lot of prizes as well for her team. And I'm always totally driven by the prizes and rewards. And it's like, I'm almost embarrassed to admit it, but it really does help me stay on track. And what I realized after listening to the call today was, like, why don't I ever give myself a reward? Like, I'm always just waiting for you guys or someone else to give me the reward. Why am I not doing it for myself? So I have a friend who gives herself a sticker every time she works out. And when she hits 100 stickers, she gets $100 to go shopping with. And I think a lot of us saw Jessica's, little piggy bank for her Maui trip of giving herself money to go shopping with, and every time she worked out or lost a pound. So why are we not rewarding ourselves? I think that's really cool. So just something to think about. And whether it's a massage or your shopping, your stickers, like, figure out what you want to track and figure out what you're going to do to celebrate it. The last thing that Hal shared was that he, kind of along those same lines of rewarding yourself, was that he sets up a play account. And what that is, it's like his guilt-free spending account. And so he puts 5% of his income into it. We're probably not making quite as much as he is. So maybe it's, $5 or whatever you decide on. But it's just an account where it's just for fun. And it's just for things you might not need. And I know that's kind of how I started out with Beachbody, was like, it was going to be my fun money. So I didn't have to feel like I was taking the money that Nolan was earning for our family for, things like the mortgage and car payments. And now that I consistently am making money with this, I feel like now I contribute the money, and some of the fun money is out of it. So just something to think about, and yeah, just something to think about. And Chris did offer a copy of his book. It's downloadable, a free downloadable copy, and it's the All-Inclusive Diet. And I haven't looked into it at all. I sort of forgot about it until I listened again today. So this is, you have to email him. So, that'll probably mean that you'll also be getting information from him on other things. But I'm sure it's helpful, and I will post this in Live to Give so you guys all have it, and I'll also post a link to where you can copy the link to the call easily. So let's see here. Hi everybody. So do you guys have any questions? Any thoughts? Any Smart Shift goals?
I'll just share really quick. Vanessa spoke on Team Finding Freedom about this Smart Shift a few weeks ago, maybe. And it was the first time I actually tried to implement something I heard on a call. It just was like such good, tangible information, and I took it right away and implement it with my new challenge group that we're doing right now. So I send out a weekly email, and we also are having the weekly themes like Vanessa. This last week we finished up with nutrition. This week we're doing fitness, and next week is mindset. And so I had my group send me a Smart Shift goal last week for nutrition. A lot were drink water or eat their containers, follow the 21-day fix. They had like 7 days, and then had a reward after. So it's been like a really neat way to connect with the challengers, get communication, like specific, smaller stuff back and forth, and just gave us more to communicate with. A lot of times my challengers go quiet, and it felt like just more value to be able to have with my challengers. But it's going really well. Right now I'm getting emails back for this week on their fitness Smart Shift goals. So it's been good. So thank you, Vanessa. And I got to do it my first week, and I got like a 45-minute bath yesterday by myself. So it was nice.
So thanks to Nathan too for that.
I know. I didn't think it was fair because he only got 20 minutes of football. Yes. But
Vanessa?
Yeah.
Are you doing similar things with your challenge group, like as far as like what Monica's doing, emailing them, or how are you getting their goals? Like,
so she totally planned hers out better than I did with the emails. I was planning on just using the tracker app, and then I felt like I have a kind of like an alumni group for my challenge group, and it was the group that I started with in January that had like 100 people in it. So I felt like it was really valuable information to share with that larger group. So I just went ahead, and instead of creating a new group in Facebook for this month, I just started posting in that one. And I've actually had several people kind of come out of nowhere and start posting it in again. So unfortunately last week I had to kind of work full time at our family store. So I sort of lost track of people's goals, and I really had wanted to team them up with other people in the group. Mm-hmm. And I was just honest with them that I just didn't have time to do that. But I did try to follow up with everyone's comments, and a lot of them were really simple and not super specific, like super measurable, I guess. It was eating more vegetables or eating more fruit kind of goals. So I think I could have done a better job of setting it up. But I think that it's a good start, and I'll plan on implementing more things like that with them. So on each of my posts, I do have like the daily assignment, and that was kind of Monica's idea, and we got it from your back to school slides, how it has a little information, but then it also clearly defines like today's assignments. And so each of those are like, share what your why is, and then share your SMART goal check-in. So I have them checking in each day, which a lot of them don't, but some of them do.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I like the broken down goals that you guys have, and a way to check in, weekly with people. I think that's really good. And for you guys that are using TeamZ, it's a cool thing because then it's also, that tracks it, and you can put those right in there. You're connecting with your customers, if they're customers or prospects that way. I know. And it's so nice that way to keep track of things. I don't know how you guys are doing it, but that's really good. It's really good information. I like, just the small things, because I've had a few people come on lately that are have a lot of weight to lose, or have a lot of baggage, and are really struggling to see, that bigger picture is just too much for them. And so you have to give them smaller goals. And like one of the things with one of the girls is just, with the health that started, it was awesome. Just drink your Shakeology at least 5 days a week. Those are things, which was great, that in a way that kind of started those small goals. Work out 3, because those are attainable. Those are things that they can do without thinking I have to lose 150 pounds and get all my food prepped and whatever. Some people come into it ready to just do everything. And then some people, it's just so overwhelming, it stops them from starting. So it's really good stuff. Anybody else have questions for Vanessa, or? Quiet tonight.
Nice to see everyone.
Yeah, we had a good turnout. I'm so happy. And Shayna said she had to run, but thanks. So, and I know I saw Lori get on for a little while too. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we should talk about. I think, one of the things you mentioned as far as teaming up and being coaches, I think it's very valuable still, and I'll encourage it always to have a success partner. If you don't have one, let me know and I can try and help you. Sometimes I put the word out to my friends who are coaches who have teams, and we can kind of, set you up with someone you might work well with. I know that I am fortunate enough to have a few, and they've helped me get through a lot. And it's just like Vanessa was saying, you set goals together and you can, kind of help each other make sure you're meeting those goals. Because it's great, like if I talk to you guys, but there's a lot of people, so, like that I talk to and I want to help with your goals, and I can't always, check on you daily, that type of thing. So it's great to have someone else that you can check in with often, that can hold you accountable to your goals, whatever they may be. Some people really want to push forward. Some people are holding back a little bit. And I want you guys to know that wherever you're at, it's okay. That I want you to be here regardless of, what speed you're going. So, so hopefully, if, like I said, if you want someone to hook up with, let me know and I can try and help you find somebody. I think it's really valuable to team up with somebody that's not in our smaller group. It's great to have connections and relationships here, but it's also great to get information from other teams, because then you can kind of bounce different ideas off of, each other. So, Anybody else have anything? We have lots of kids photobombing. I love it.
One thing that I shared in my call with Finding Freedom was, and I know Monica, this sort of touched her because I could see her tearing up when I said it, was that I was talking about being consistent and sharing your story, and I guess, and she reminded me of what I had said, but I feel like we hold the key to other people's future, like their happiness, their fitness, their health. And it's so important to just share it, and don't be afraid to share it. I just listened to one of the national wake up calls, and, it was more of just document your story. Don't be salesy. Don't feel like you need to come up with this great quote or sales pitch or anything, or testimonial. Just share from your heart, and remember that, just talking to Monica on the track totally changed my life. Like, I wouldn't be here had we not been running together that night. And had she not, now sometimes we feel nervous about talking to people in person, and we want to just stay behind the computer or our phones. And don't be afraid to share with the people that you're talking to and the people that you're seeing, because they might be the ones that you change. And maybe they're not the ones that need to lose a lot of weight, but maybe they're the ones that need the motivation or the support from the team. Like we're here right now together. So, so don't hold back, because you might be the key. What do you think, Piper? You saying hi to Sierra?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a gift. And, I've heard it said before, if we're not sharing it, then in a way we're being selfish. We have something that could help anybody. It's more really about, not so much about the pounds lost, which, yeah, that's huge. It can impact your health, but it's really about so much changes on the inside. All of us here have had such a huge change on the inside. We still have struggles. Yes, we still, have ups and downs. But I think most of us can say we're stronger, we're happier, we're connected with people we love. We never would have known without Beachbody, like how amazing is that, like Vanessa said, like Monica, she lives in California. Her friend went to high school with me and asked her to join my group. How crazy is that? Like, it's what you're doing is, and Shayna said it on her call, and I love the way she said it. We're becoming so isolated as a country, as, in the world, because we can sit behind the computer and do everything, so how many people are feeling lonely? How many people are feeling like they want connection? And we have this amazing community. Like, we're sitting here looking at each other tonight, connecting. And how many people would do anything for that? I know I was really lonely here in Florida when I moved here and felt like I didn't have anybody. And Beachbody has totally changed my life and reconnected me with friends from high school, new people. It's just been amazing. And think about that when you're sharing. You have that to offer people. You can truly, open the door to so much for them. So if anybody else has anything they want to share, say, whatever. Reed does. He raised his hand. And
I do have one more just little thing.
Okay.
So with the Miracle Morning stuff, they talk about affirmations, and I have sort of felt lost with that, and I still do. But I had this great idea to take Monica to our little craft store, and we found these cute little books, and they say, "Make today amazing." And it's just a little notebook, and so we started by just writing down quotes that spoke to us, more so than like the specific affirmations that they talk about in the book. So I have one that says, I inspire my team. I give them the tools to learn and grow. I am a leader. And then we also found just some quotes that we saw on the internet and wrote down. So just an idea to have a little reminder, like I have it just on my desk to look at when I need it. So just another nugget.
That's a good one. All right, guys. Well, if nobody else has anything, we will say goodnight and let you get back to your families. I so appreciate your time, of course, and so appreciate that you're a part of this team. You guys make, checking into the team page makes my day every day. And, hopefully some of you can get on the call tomorrow. Pray for me if you pray. I'm really nervous about this DFG call. Just because I have a lot of thoughts, but I haven't been able to really get them out the way I want to. But a lot of it is based around you guys, and because you are such a huge piece of who I am in this business. So thank you guys for being here. Like I said, I look forward to seeing your faces. I love you all, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Good night.
Thanks for letting me ramble.
Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate your wisdom. It was great.
Good night.
Good night.